Just Kyle Keel here at the 6 News Now desk with an update on our first alert day, not only for today, but heading into Saturday as well. Kind of two different elements, I would say three different elements that we're looking at this point in time. We're looking at the high heat and humidity today and tomorrow, and then that's going to transition into a severe weather threat and eventually a heavy rain and flash flooding threat here as we head into Saturday. So we have lots to keep track of here as we head over the next 24 to 36 hours, but this is very important because there's going to be some changing elements when many of you are outside enjoying many of the events that we have going on here in the QCA. So we want to head over to our graphics right now, and we'll take a live look outside at our Skyview camera. And right now we've got plenty of sunshine, just a few fair weather clouds out there. That sunshine and that southerly wind really helping boost those temperatures into the upper 80s to the lower 90s. So we're going to continue to watch that here as we head throughout the next several hours. So we'll go ahead and get to our graphics system here. And I'm going to go ahead and make that full screen for you, and you'll be able to see that our first alert day is going to continue here through 7 o'clock this evening. But again, tomorrow we will have another risk of that high heat and humidity as we have temperatures overnight that are only going to drop into the mid 70s, and then we're back quickly here to the upper 80s to near 90 by this time tomorrow afternoon. We'll have heat index between 100 and 105 once again, and it's by 2 or 3 o'clock that we could actually have a few storms just to our north of the Quad Cities. We'll watch for you folks around Mount Carroll, Maquoketa, up toward Galena and Stockton. There could be a few storms that do develop here as we head early into the afternoon hours, but the more widespread rain and storms will come here as we head into the evening and overnight. So as we look at our first alert day details for Saturday from 3 p.m. Saturday to 6 a.m. Sunday, that's when we have that potential for strong to severe thunderstorms, and that's also when we're going to have that potential for heavy rainfall leading to some flash flooding. So we're going to see repeated rounds of heavy rain that could lead to that potential for some flash flooding. Right now from the Storm Prediction Center, we do have a level 2 out of 5 risk of severe weather, and there's that update that we got a little bit earlier this morning. And, we were kind of mentioning all day that possibility of an upgrade was there, and that's exactly what we saw from the Storm Prediction Center. So the main threats here are going to be damaging wind gusts up to 60 miles per hour, but especially with storms that develop earlier in the afternoon and early evening, we could be talking about the potential for maybe a couple of tornadoes to develop. So it's going to be a trend that we continue to watch. We'll have a better idea on tornado potential here as we head into early tomorrow morning, because it all kind of depends on what happens with the severe weather here to our northwest as we head into tonight. So we'll get through this forecast here and then answer any questions that you might have. As we move forward here, you'll be able to see that, again, the primary threat is going to be the damaging wind gust here as we head into tomorrow. 15% doesn't seem like much, but on any given day when this is zero, that is a little more on the concerning side. So damaging wind is going to be the primary threat, again, up to 60 miles per hour possibility. And there's that outline for a tornado risk as well. Looks like that higher risk is going to be off to the northwest of the Quad Cities. These don't look like they would be any long-lasting or destructive tornadoes, but certainly something that we need to keep a very close eye on here as we head into the day on Saturday. Again, the biggest concern is going to be the heavy rainfall. So I will tell you that just at the top of the hour, we did get an update from the Weather Prediction Center. We've been placed from the Quad Cities points to the northwest under that level 3 moderate risk of excessive rainfall and flash flooding. So this map will update here for our evening newscasts, but just get the idea that tomorrow night into Sunday, that's when we are going to have that growing concern for heavy rainfall and flash flooding. Right now it looks like the heaviest band of rain will likely set up northwest of the Quad Cities, but something we're going to continue to monitor here as we head over the next 24 to 36 hours. So the question you might have is the timing. Again, if you're headed out to the Quad Cities Balloon Festival or Tug Fest, the festivities in Port Byron and LeClaire, things looking A-OK this evening. It's just going to be hot and humid. Same can be said here early tomorrow morning. Farmers Market, we've got touch truck events, as well as Tug Fest, of course, kicking off at noon. That should be A-OK. It's just going to be really, really hot for those people tugging across the Mississippi River, as we'll have the increasing winds out of the south, really keeping that Gulf flow moving. So it's going to be very muggy once again with temperatures in the mid-70s. This is where we have some question marks, whether or not we're going to get these storms to develop. This could happen from outflow from storms that do develop to the north. That could be kind of a triggering mechanism for these. So 2, 3 o'clock, basically Clinton, Savannah, perhaps Mount Carroll, Galena, Stockton, down toward Maquoketa, could be talking about a few of those scattered storms that do develop. So We'll continue to monitor that here in the early afternoon because some of those could fester in the evening, but I think around 5 or 6 o'clock is when we are going to start to see more storms develop across our region. So again, we've got the balloons going up at 6 p.m. at Rhythm City Casino in Davenport. Got the balloon glow at dusk as well. Those might be in jeopardy here tomorrow as we're tracking another round of storms. Again, by 7, 8 o'clock, could be tracking those potential for damaging winds, maybe a couple spin-up tornadoes within this. But you're going to notice here as we head through the overnight, continued development of the storms. These are going to kind of back build and take advantage of all of that moisture available and produce some very heavy rainfall. So even as we head into the overnight hours, we're going to see repeated rounds of heavy rain, which does increase that concern of some flash flooding through Sunday morning. Even after sunrise, we could be talking about some of that heavier rain in our eastern hometowns. And even beyond Sunday morning, we could be talking about a few more scattered storms here as we head into the afternoon. But the clouds and the rain on Sunday are going to limit temperatures rebounding into the 80s, but that'll be by far the least of our concerns here as we head into the day on your Saturday. So, Pam, we are talking about the time frame for Davenport right now. So it looks like probably by early evening in Davenport tomorrow through the overnight, that's when we're going to be talking about that potential for the strong storms. The Wine Walk could be impacted here as we head into tomorrow as well, Pam. So we're going to continue to keep a close eye on everything here as we head through the overnight hours tonight, and then especially tomorrow morning when we have a better idea. As far as rainfall goes, I think that this map really indicates where the heaviest rainfall is going to be. I think it'll be near the Quad Cities and points to the northwest. I want you to look at that legend up there. Anywhere in the brighter yellow shading has 1 to 2 inches. The orange shading is 2 to 3 inches, and then the red shading is 3 to 5. Good shot at 1 to 2 inches for most of the viewing area. I think farther south and east you live, you might be below an inch, but certainly an inch is a good bet for most locations. I think 2 to 4 inches is a little bit more on a concerning level here for our area, and there could be some locations that do get 3 to 5 inches of rain. Again, we saw this happen last month of the repeated rounds of heavy rain. It can add up quickly and be overwhelming for our soil, so that could lead to the potential for flash flooding. Could lead to rises on area tributaries, area rivers as well, so that's going to be an aspect that we continue to watch here as we head through the day here on Saturday, and especially Saturday night into Sunday. So here's keeping you ahead of the storm. This is what you need to know here. So the time frame is Saturday afternoon through Sunday morning. It does look like maybe between the 5 and 7 time frame, that's when storms really ramp up here in the Quad Cities metro. Could have a few more that develop here north of the Quad Cities earlier in the afternoon. So again, that's the question mark, is earlier in the day, what's going to happen? We know, we're confident that we're going to start off sunny, warm and humid, and that'll turn into hot and humid here as we get those temps close to 90 with heat index upwards of 100 to 105 degrees. And then as we head into the overnight, we are going to be talking about the heavy rainfall. So maybe today you should check your sump pumps and drains. Make sure those sump pumps are working properly just in case they have to kick on here as we head into tomorrow night, because again, multiple rounds of that heavy rain could lead to that potential for flooding and might overwhelm those sump pumps in some areas. And of course, the areas of biggest concern are going to be the flood-prone areas, the low-lying areas. Again, we kind of just went through this here a few weeks ago, and this could potentially be an issue here as we head into tomorrow, especially near the Quad Cities and points to the northwest, where we do anticipate that heavier rainfall continuing. So I'm going to go ahead and put this full screen here and maybe answer a couple of your questions. Judy's going to be at the Port Byron campground, and she's asking, yeah, so especially if you're going to be outside, I would have multiple ways to receive weather alerts. Hopefully you have a battery-powered weather radio you can take along, and certainly the KWQC First Alert weather app to keep you updated. Brett's asking about a flood watch that will, I assume, get issued here. Again, we were just placed under that level 3 of 4 risk of flooding here heading into Saturday night and early Sunday morning. So I'm sure the National Weather Service is kind of going over the latest data that we have gone over and are continuing to go over as we're getting a new round of guidance, of model guidance coming in. So we'll be reviewing that, and I'll have an update for you probably about 3:30 on Quad Cities Live on TV6. We'll do a live weather update there for you. But I do anticipate that we will get some flood watches to be issued because, again, this is turning into a primary concern for some heavy rain here as we head into the overnight hours on your Saturday. So it looks like comments here are winding down. I know it's not a lot of people online here on a Friday afternoon, but just wanted to give you all a heads up on what's to come here as we head into the day on Saturday. You'll want to stay weather aware, and of course we're going to keep you updated here at KWQC. The First Alert Weather Team will be monitoring the situation here with updates all night long on our newscast. We'll have updates online at kwqc.com. And again, that First Alert Weather app, that's going to be a handy tool to have because it's going to alert you to any severe weather alerts that you want to be alerted to for whatever location you're at. And of course, make sure you have multiple ways to receive those weather alerts, and be sure to stay safe. Have a great day, everyone. Thanks.